Hello. TED Talks, ideas worth spreading. The idea I'd like to spread is the importance of fun in education and its connection to learning. In 2002, when the testing pressure increased in schools with the advent of No Child Left Behind, I would hear teachers say, "I no longer have time for the fun stuff." My answer was, why would you give up that? Those are the areas where I feel the most passion, the areas where I was myself, the areas where I felt like I did my best teaching, where the students could feel it. A few things about me. I retired from teaching in June of 2016 after 37 years in elementary education. After that, I traveled for 9 months. And I left Coeur d'Alene in September of 2016 on my bicycle, and I rode from here to San Diego. And then I fulfilled a lifelong dream, and I traveled for the winter as a ski bum. I traveled around the West. One of my favorite parts of my bike trip was that friends and family joined me along the way and rode various legs of it, including my daughter and her husband, who rode the entire Oregon coast with me. And I have a few pictures here of my bike trip. Manzanita, Oregon. I noticed a year ago when I was eager to take off and travel, and this year I'm very excited to be staying in Coeur d'Alene. I love Coeur d'Alene. I love the geography, the people, the town, and the lake, of course. And one of the fun things I do with the lake is we kayak and paddle out to the floating green at night, and then we dive for golf balls. There were 4 of us on this mission, and that collection of golf balls is a result of 45 minutes of diving. Yes. For the last 10 years, I taught 5th grade at Sorenson Magnet School of the Arts and Humanities, a public school which I helped create. And the fun-filled curriculum of the school includes the kids get to learn a daily arts and humanities block in which the kids learn to play marimbas and African drums. They string instruments and band instruments. They take classes in visual arts and in making pottery. They sing, they dance, they perform theater, and they juggle. So Sorenson kids love coming to school. In 1994, my life took a fun twist when I took my interest in juggling and my 10-year-old daughter, and we traveled to Burlington, Vermont for the International Jugglers Association Festival. And I have a vivid memory of walking into the gym filled with 1,000 jugglers. One of the things I took away from the week was the fascinating ways in which people had incorporated juggling into their lives. Most of the 1,000 people were hobbyists like me, and a very small percentage were actually making their living juggling. I left there and I came home determined to use juggling more deliberately in my teaching, and I did. I started a school juggling club. I incorporated daily juggling breaks in class, which these were movement opportunities, and in our desk-oriented sit-in-your-seats schools, I think it was a big help. These juggling breaks were a help to me and to the kids, and I think they made our days more productive. The kids started to teach others to juggle. I got better. The kids learned rapidly. We started performing at other schools, and I realized I could get the kids to do almost anything, if I promised with the promise of a juggling break. So as soon as your desk passes desk inspection, you may go to the gym and juggle. It was very effective. We were having a ton of fun with juggling. When Sorenson became a magnet school of the arts 10 years ago with juggling as one of the arts. The juggling's popularity exploded. Our Monday night juggling in the gym would have, we would oftentimes have over 100 kids and their families there. We added Tuesday morning juggling, before school juggling. And with my fifth graders, we instituted juggling buddies. So we were reading and juggling buddies with the kindergartners. We'd get together weekly, and the fifth graders would help the kindergartners with those skills. And then at the end of the year, they did a performance for the kindergarten graduation. I have a little video of Elise, fifth grader Elise, and her juggling buddy. We spent a lot of time teaching the kids the importance with a routine of having a beginning and a middle and an end, and that was very helpful. Also, our performance group was getting frequent requests to perform at other places, and we did that, including large venues, and I have a little video to show you. We would oftentimes have 90 kids at our 7 a.m. practices. And I have a video to show you a snippet of a halftime juggling show at a Gonzaga University basketball game. They're good. They're good. Kids were, juggling just continued to grow. Kids would take their juggling props on family vacations. I would hear funny stories from families about how such and such was broken in the living room as their kids were juggling obsessively. Apples and oranges were in danger. Sixth grader Jake shared that he had exchanged an impromptu juggling show for ice cream on a family vacation in Mexico. I was loving what was happening, and the parents were loving what was happening with juggling. The next big step was in 2010. Former student Shay, his family they were taking a year to travel to live in Bolivia. His father was an emergency room physician, and his mother a social worker, and they wanted to go to Bolivia to volunteer with their skills and to give their family an experience living in a different culture. While they were there, they Shay met John Connell, who was an American who had traveled to Bolivia when he was 18, and he started teaching street kids how to juggle to give them better skills to help support their families. This evolved into John forming a nonprofit organization called Performing Life Bolivia, which is active today, 12 years later, and has helped thousands of kids develop circus art skills and with their academics. When Shay and his family returned to Coeur d'Alene, they said, wouldn't it be fun to bring John from Bolivia, bring him to Sorenson for a juggling residency? And we talked about it for a couple years, and then we did. In 2015 and 2016, we brought John Connell and a brother and sister duo of Adelaide and Scarlett, and they came to Sorenson School in Coeur d'Alene for a week of juggling and cultural residency. I have a video I'd like to show you. It's just a snippet of some of the energy of that week.
Something I saw this week was a lot of practicing.
And hard work. And perseverance.
That is a scarlet from Bolivia. What are our teachers? Hadley. That's John Connell from Bolivia. Scarlet. All of that crazy energy culminated in a show on this stage at the end of the week, a Thursday night show. They'd started working with the kids on Monday, and on Thursday night we did a show on this stage. What do I see in that video? I see kids having fun with working solo or working alone, with all that craziness in the gym. Sometimes there'd be 150 kids in the gym. We had virtually no discipline problems because the kids were there were lots of choices of ways they could get involved. And we saw kids setting goals individually, setting goals that followed some of the school things we had set up. We had established a 50 club. As soon as you can get 50 throws with beanbags, you were recognized. As soon as you can pass the globe test, these balls, that plastic balls balance on that, and kids worked hard to accomplish those. We had the kids. What I saw in the video. Were kids creating, and they loved working together in groups to create routines and shoot for being in the show. And certainly one of the wonderful big things that came out of this was the multicultural experience of the kids learning about Bolivia, and we worked hard on that from starting in September. They came in January, of helping them to learn about Bolivia. And if we had a Sorenson student on stage right now who had been there during that time, they would say, John, Scarlett, and dAlene are their good friends. How did this fun enhance learning? Certainly one of the biggest things was confidence. The kids performed often in front of large groups. And I saw this transfer to the classroom at any time with classroom presentations or any time they're in front of an audience. Their confidence was evident. One time before one of the Gonzaga performances, I was standing with a group of kids before they went on. I said, "Are you nervous?" They kind of looked at me with a puzzled look of, "No." It's like, "Oh, okay." They're confident. The group work they did, which was extensive through juggling, working with large routines and working with partners, was led to wonderful things in the classroom group work, which we did a lot of, including the generation of ideas, the sharing of their own ideas, and listening to others' ideas. A wonderful life skill. And finally, we know that the most important teaching is our relationships. And I developed these relationships with kids that were beyond academics. We had fun together, and we got to know each other in different ways. And I think that was the basis for my work with these amazing kids. And now, I would like you to meet some of these kids and see some of what they can do. This is Nathan. Nathan's in 6th grade. His father is named Eric Edmonds. So, good job, Nathan. Marissa and Lindsay. These are the globes I was talking about. And now I get to have a little fun with these kids. Oop. That's right. Oop, oop, oop. We give ourselves 3 tries. 3 tries. Oop, a little early. Okay. Almost. Come on out. Up, down. Right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Thank you.